I'm Miranda Cosgrove, and this is Mission Unstoppable.
Coming up, dive into the underwater world of coral reefs from the comfort of your computer.
Now this is exploring the ocean.
And Big gets a first-hand feel for the chemistry behind lotion.
I feel like a real cosmetic scientist.
You're about to be one today.
Then, ever feel deja vu? Is it proof of an alternate universe?
Hello.
Or is your brain trying to tell you something? And trucks on a treadmill? Learn how an automotive workout helps keep our air clean.
Get ready to meet the scientists, inventors, and heroes who help make our world a better place. The future is here. The mission, unstoppable.
Virtual reality is a cool tech, but can it be used to help study coral reefs? I bet it can, but I'll look really silly if Dr. Erica Woolsey says different.
Fiji, the Caribbean, the Great Barrier Reef. The world is full of beautiful coral reefs, but they're all dying from warming ocean waters, pollution, and overfishing. I mean, what a bummer. I haven't even been able to save up enough money to go see one. But there is good news. I don't have to. I can just download one right now to my phone. No, seriously. Dr. Erica Woolsey is putting the world's coral reefs at your fingertips.
I was really lucky to have family members that wanted to learn how to dive, so I learned how to scuba dive with my dad and my brother. Here in the Bay Area, we drove down to Monterey and saw the amazing kelp forests and sea lions and learned how to dive in one of the most special ecosystems in the world.
That love of diving led her to become a marine biologist who studies coral reefs. But she doesn't just study them underwater, she photographs them. She creates unique 3D digital models, which can be put into virtual or augmented reality worlds and shared online, creating quite a sea change. So I hear you're taking the ocean on the go.
That's right. We love to use emerging technologies to share the ocean with everyone.
Obviously, I'm not the expert on coral reefs, but I feel like it might be tough to just take a coral reef out of the ocean and bring it with you to places.
Right, and that could kill the coral because corals are actually animals, even though they might look like plants or rocks. What's so great about this method called photogrammetry is we can collect corals without actually hurting them or taking them out of the ocean.
Wait, photogrammetry? Erica explains that photogrammetry is the science of reconstructing objects and environments through photographs with the help of some cool computer software. She takes up to 100 photos from every imaginable angle as she swims around a coral reef. Then, she stitches the photos together to make a digital model. She can even print the model. That's incredible. So you literally 3D printed this piece of coral?
Yes, and what's even better than that is the digital models can be viewed and downloaded and 3D printed by anyone in the world.
Wow. Why is it important to study coral?
Coral reefs are like the rainforests of the ocean. They cover less than 1% of the seafloor, but they support about 25% of all marine biodiversity. They're also important for people. Hundreds of millions of people around the world rely on coral reefs for food and for livelihood.
That's awesome. I did not know any of that.
Yes, learning.
I also learned from Erica that data collected from coral models can be used to calculate the surface area to volume ratios of the coral colony. This information can identify different species and predict and measure the effects of climate change on a coral reef over time. Erica shows me how from anywhere in the world, if you have access to a computer, you have access to coral reefs. This is wild. I mean, there's so much detail in this model. If I could see what coral looked like at this level of detail without being in the ocean, I can understand why I might be more invested in protecting coral.
Would you like to see the same model in virtual reality?
Yes. Can I?
You sure can. Let's hop in.
Now this is a truly amazing experience. Teleporting in the deep blue, I feel like I'm the biggest fish in the sea. Wow. Now this is exploring the ocean. And I'm bone dry. That was awesome. Thank you so much, Erica, for everything you showed me today. Seeing your work is really inspiring. I mean, this idea of bringing the ocean to people so that they can have a greater appreciation for it is a really awesome thing to dedicate your life to. Thank you for today.
Thank you. It was so fun diving with you.
Likewise.
I hope we get to do it again.
Same. Also, I was gonna go to the beach today, but kind of feel like I already just did, so.
You should still go to the beach because there's no replacement for the real thing.
Yeah, you're probably right. Wanna join?
Sure, let's
Cool.
go.
If you have skin, you're gonna wanna watch this next segment. If you don't, watch it anyway. You're gonna wanna see what you're missing.
We're in a state-of-the-art science lab. And what are we about to make?
A new vitamin? Rocket fuel made out of apples?
Or a computer code to stop the targeted ads on my social media because, well, I bought too many shoes last month. Oh no, we're about to make something that everybody in the world uses almost daily. Moisturizer.
And the chemist behind the cream is Jane Suey.
I've always loved skincare and makeup growing up, and I loved chemistry as a subject, so I thought, why not combine the two? I chose to specialize in skincare because it's something that everyone uses, and I find it really interesting, and I'm super passionate about it.
Today, I'm meeting with Jane at her lab in Los Angeles, California, to learn how scientists like her keep our skin healthy and beautiful.
You are a cosmetic scientist, right?
Yes, that's right.
So what does that even mean?
A cosmetic scientist is a scientist that formulates anything skincare, makeup, or hair care related to make sure that it's safe and efficacious.
Efficacious?
Yes. Efficacious means that it delivers results in a given amount of time.
So what kind of products have you created?
Serums, moisturizers, body lotions, shampoos, conditioners, hand sanitizers.
Really?
A lot of things that you use on the daily basis that you might not think about.
Jane works her magic in this laboratory, where today she's showing me how to make a face moisturizer.
I feel like a real cosmetic scientist.
You're about to be one today.
Why does the skin need moisturizer?
So our skin epidermis has 5 layers, and the outermost layer is called the stratum corneum. And when the skin's dry, the stratum corneum lifts a little bit and promotes transepidermal water loss. We use a moisturizer to lay that stratum corneum down so that we don't lose that much moisture in our skin.
What goes into the moisturizer?
So we're looking at all the ingredients that we'll be using, some humectants, some emollients, and your emulsifier.
Humectants, emollients, and emulsifiers. Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah.
Humollients, emollients, and emulsifiers. Emulsifiers, okay.
Humectants,
Humectants,
emollients,
emollients,
and some emulsifiers.
and emulsifiers. All right.
The first step to making lotion is the water phase, which uses water and water-soluble ingredients.
A humectant is an ingredient that helps draw moisture to the skin. Isopentodyl is an emollient, and it helps the spreadability of the formula. This ingredient is a gelling agent, and it helps stabilize the emulsion so it doesn't fall apart over time.
These ingredients are mixed and added to the water. While the water phase ingredients heat up, we begin weighing ingredients for our oil phase, like our emulsifier, which helps bind the oil and water together. We also add another emollient, which helps the lotion dry down smooth. Finally, we add some vitamin C.
Vitamin C is really great for cell turnover, skin brightening, and evening out the skin tone.
What is cell turnover?
Your body has a natural process of replacing old skin cells with new skin cells.
After adding some plant extract, another humectant, and one more emollient, we heat up both phases to 80 degrees Celsius and combine them into one beaker. Our lotion is moved over to the homogenizer, where it's mixed at a really high speed. Next, we add some final ingredients, including one of the most important, a preservative.
Since this moisturizer has a water phase, there can be mold or bacteria growth, so we don't want that.
Yeah, definitely do not.
To finish, Jane looks for lumps on this drawdown chart, checks the pH level to ensure it won't irritate the skin, and uses a viscometer to check its thickness. Since the lotion is exactly where we want it to be, it's time for my favorite part.
Are you ready to try it on your skin?
Yes, absolutely.
And you can feel for texture and let me know if it dries down nicely or if there's anything that you would adjust.
Okay. Actually, I needed that. Yeah, my hands were dry. I needed
Me
that. That feels great.
Thanks. Well, you made it, so hope you like.
Can I take some of this home with me?
Absolutely, and I have some prepared for you, and through the magic of TV.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I'm just gonna take 1 or 2 of these. And, maybe some of these. I've got 5 sisters, so I'm just gonna take them all.
All right, well, see you, Fig. Another satisfied customer. Good job, Jane.
Ever get the feeling you've experienced this exact same moment before? Well, this is my 3rd take reading this intro, so I understand. But what's up when you have normal déjà vu? Dr. Brain can explain.
Have you ever gotten the weird feeling of, I know I've been here before, but you also know that you haven't? This feeling of being connected in memory to something that's happening to you for the first time is called déjà vu, a French term for already seen. What is it that's tricking our brain into this creepy feeling? Well, it's our brain, of course. Hi, I'm Dr. Brain. Okay, my real name is Crystal Dilworth, but I have a PhD in neuroscience, so just easier to call me Dr. Brain. So, I'm Dr. Brain! Scientists define déjà vu as an intense feeling of familiarity, a feeling that we remember the current moment, even though it's never happened before. But when déjà vu happens to us, it does not feel scientific. Are we momentarily connecting to a dream? Are we experiencing the memory of a previous lifetime? Are we connecting to another version of ourselves across the multiverse? Hello. I love that talk. I know, right? Nope. It's just our brain doing a little hiccup as it processes information. In order to remember something, first we have to experience it, and then our memory tells us that it's happened before. We do that by matching the features or elements of our current situation to the features or elements of all of our previously experienced situations that are stored in our memory. Basically, to understand what's going on right now, your brain cross-references similar events from your vast library of memories. Déjà vu experiences may happen when there's a strong match between what we're experiencing right now and something that we've experienced in the past. This gives us a feeling of familiarity, but our brain can't quite figure out what is familiar and what isn't. The end result is that you end up feeling like you've lived it all before, in exactly the same way. Our brain has several ways of finding errors and correcting its own mistakes. So when it gets a signal that an experience is repeating itself, it checks part of our memory system to see if the signal is true. If it's not, when our brain corrects the false signal, it might cause us to feel déjà vu. Déjà vu happens more often when you're under stress or tired, basically in moments when your brain is more likely to be making an error. You should get more sleep. Good advice, but I know you're not real. I am filing you away. So the next time you get that creepy feeling that you've experienced something before, remember, it's not your brain connecting to another dimension. It's just your brain having a little filing error. Bye. Bye, bye, bye.
Everyone hates smog, but what can you do about it? Maybe big fans. Ooh, or how about... No, that wouldn't work. You know what? I bet air pollution specialist Lachey Cobley has some better ideas. So let's find out.
Los Angeles is known for its weather, gorgeous beaches, and of course, movie and TV stars. But it's not all glamorous. In 2021, there were 7.7 million vehicles registered in LA County, almost all of them spewing out smog. And that smog isn't just turning our skies a sick yellowish gray color. It gets in our lungs and causes numerous health issues. But don't despair. California is turning it around and now leads the nation in establishing the strictest vehicle emission standards in the country. And Dr. Lachey Cobley has made it her mission to clean up our air for future generations.
I was raised Rastafarian, which gave me this strong sense of love for nature and this respect for all living things, even though I grew up in a very urban environment and didn't have a lot of nature around me. And then when I got to college, I took my first class on plants and completely lost my mind. Like did not know that I could be so into plants. My way of getting into studying pollution was actually trying to understand where trees got their nutrients from in cities. And it wound up telling me this like incredible story about pollution. And then I wanted to take it a step further and say, okay, what do we do about this? Which is how I then landed at CARB eventually.
CARB stands for the California Air Resources Board, and it creates policies to protect public health and the environment.
Here we are at CARB's heavy-duty test cell lab, where we actually have our heavy-duty vehicles set up. We can get them running in real time and make measurements on the emissions that come from them. We actually have a truck set up. Why don't we go in and take a look?
The truck is anchored down and sits on an enormous treadmill called a dynamometer. This way, the truck can be tested at all speeds. Rollers on it move the truck's wheels to simulate road conditions.
So this giant fan that you see behind me is actually really useful because it allows us to create real-world environments. So a truck that may be going on a highway at 80 miles per hour is going to have very different emissions than a truck that's going 30 miles per hour, let's say in a residential neighborhood. This fan allows us to get those different wind speeds. Here, what you can see is the actual stack where the exhaust is coming out of the truck. We have that connected to our instruments where we can capture all of that pollution that's coming out and make measurements on it.
Pollutants coming off of hard-working engines are measured in grams per mile. It's all systems go from the control room, and the test starts rolling.
So here in our monitors, you can see all of the measurements that are being made in real time. On our middle screen is actually where we're getting all of the pollutants coming off of the exhaust.
The lab frequently looks specifically for criteria pollutants, or 6 common air pollutants established by the Environmental Protection Agency that contribute to bad air. Within minutes, the test yields valuable data that can contribute to regulations that will help clean up and keep the air we breathe breathable.
There's a lot of different ways that we can all play a part in cleaning the air and cleaning our environment. Instead of driving to work, maybe have one day a week where you ride your bike, or carpool with friends, get on public transit. These are all things that are going to reduce vehicle emissions.
Great advice, Lachey. I know the next time that I'm heading to the red carpet, I'll ride my bike. Well, maybe not my bike, but I'll definitely carpool. Welcome back. Before we go, we have one last thing.
My advice for any young person interested in entering a STEM field is to find your network, talk to people, learn how to ask for help, and learn how to offer help.
A lot of people think working in STEM can be boring or monotonous. However, I think working in STEM allows me to merge my creativity with my passion for science. For any young woman looking to get into the STEM field, my advice would be to find your passion and find people who also share your passions.
Even if you don't see people like you, if you're interested, do it anyway, right? It was a long time before I got to see other people like me. And if I had waited on that, I don't know that I would have been here today.
And that's it for Mission Unstoppable. I'm Miranda Cosgrove. Tune in next time when I do the entire show in an Australian accent. G'day, mate, kangaroo. Okay, I hear it now. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna do it normal next time. Bye. If you're watching this, you must have really liked the video. Make sure you follow and subscribe, and check out these other videos that are even better. No, really. I've seen this one over 100 times.